Tanner Boser is officially back in the mix, and he is ready to rock and roll at UFC Winnipeg this Saturday night. After a long road that had him questioning if his UFC career was over, he is locked in and fired up to prove he belongs in front of a hometown crowd against Gokhan Saracam. We are diving into his journey and his mindset for this massive homecoming return.
Never run out of battery again with the INIU portable charger, the slimmest 10,000 mAh power bank that keeps your devices charged on the go. Stay powered up wherever you go. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
The stakes are just as high for Jiri Herbert, who is shaking off a 13-month layoff to make a serious statement in the octagon. He is stepping up to face a dangerous promotional newcomer in Mandel Nallo, and he is not here to mess around. We are breaking down why Herbert is so confident about securing the finish and getting his momentum back on track this weekend. The fallout from UFC 327 is still sending shockwaves through the sport after that stunning main event. Carlos Ulberg pulled off the impossible by knocking out Jiri Prochazka on one leg to claim the light heavyweight title, but now we have to talk about the looming injury crisis. Between the Links is here to analyze what happens to the division if the new champion is forced to the sidelines. From the rise of Josh Hokit to the potential retirement call from legends like Cub Swanson and Patricio Pitbull, we are looking at the entire landscape of UFC 327. We are breaking down the performances that change the rankings and questioning what comes next for stars like Tatiana Suarez and Paulo Costa. Get the full breakdown and stay ahead of every fight announcement by hitting that subscribe button and ringing the bell. Ever wonder what it feels like to have the door to your dreams slammed shut, only to find it wide open again? For heavyweight Tanner Boser, the road back to the octagon hasn't been a straight line, but this Saturday in Winnipeg, he's officially back in the driver's seat. After his 2023 victory over Alexa Kammer, Boser found himself on the outside looking in when the UFC didn't renew his contract. It's a gut-wrenching position for any fighter, and frankly, it's the kind of rejection that usually sends careers spiraling. But instead of folding, Boser kept grinding. When reporters caught up with him this week, he admitted that while the reality of this homecoming hit him with a bit of a surreal shock, he's now completely locked in. He told us that he never truly gave up hope, even when the opportunities felt like they were slipping through his fingers due to a string of canceled fights. It's a testament to his grit, staying ready when the phone wasn't ringing. Now, he's set to square off against Gokhan Saracam, and he isn't just looking to participate, he's looking to remind everyone why he belongs on this stage. It's a classic comeback story unfolding in his own backyard, and the energy in Winnipeg is going to be electric. If you're a fan of underdog stories and hard-hitting heavyweight action, you cannot afford to miss this one. Do you think Boser has what it takes to reclaim his spot in the rankings, or will Saracam play spoiler in front of the home crowd? Drop a comment below with your prediction, smash that like button, and subscribe for more fight updates because in this game, it's not about how you fall, it's about who's still standing when the bell rings. Ever wondered what it is like to sit on the sidelines for over a year while the sport you love moves on without you? For UFC lightweight Jiri Herbert, that exact question has been his reality for 13 long months. But as he steps back into the octagon this Saturday at UFC Winnipeg, he is not interested in excuses or rehashing the past. Herbert is back, he is focused, and he is clearly on a mission to remind everyone why he belongs on this stage. When asked about his long absence, Herbert kept it refreshingly simple, brushing off the background noise and confirming that he is ready to trade leather immediately. Facing off against promotional newcomer Mandel Nallo, Herbert knows he is stepping into a dangerous position. Nallo is hungry, coming off an impressive run on the Contender Series, and is desperate to make an explosive first impression on the UFC brass. But Herbert has done his scouting, acknowledging Nallo's striking pedigree while remaining completely unbothered by the hype. He is not here to play it safe or test the waters. He is looking for a statement-making stoppage. As he put it himself, he is not here to mess about. It is that kind of gritty, no-nonsense mentality that separates the veterans from the rest of the pack. Will the long layoff cause ring rust, or will the pent-up frustration fuel a highlight reel finish? We are about to find out this weekend. If you are as pumped for this matchup as I am, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more Fight Night breakdowns. It is back to basics for Herbert, and in this game, nothing speaks louder than a clean knockout. See you at the fights. Stop what you're doing, because UFC 327 just completely rewrote the history books. We just witnessed one of the most unbelievable main events in recent memory as Carlos Ulberg pulled off the impossible, knocking out Jiri Prochazka to claim the light heavyweight crown while fighting on essentially one leg. It was a career-defining moment, but it leaves us with a massive headache. If Ulberg is sidelined for a long recovery, what happens to the entire division? That is the question keeping everyone up at night. On today's episode of Between the Links, we are breaking it all down. Mike Heck and Jed Meshew are diving deep into the wreckage of this card to figure out where the 205-pound landscape goes from here. But that is not all. We are also talking about the absolute rocket ship that is Josh Hokit's career. After a PR nightmare of a week, the guy stepped into the cage against Curtis Blades and delivered a masterclass performance, walking away with a huge win and 2 bonuses. Talk about turning the pressure into diamonds. We are also unpacking that viral MVP press conference in New York City for the massive Rousey-Carano Netflix event and discussing the strange scheduling conflict between UFC Winnipeg and RAF 8. It has been a wild ride, and we want to hear your take, so join the conversation in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update on the fastest-moving sport on the planet. Was Ulberg's win the greatest comeback in UFC history, or did he just get lucky? Let us know what you think. UFC 327 at Miami's Cassia Center wasn't just another fight night. It was a chaotic reset button for the light heavyweight division. With a wild mix of decisions, highlight reel finishes, and a new king crowned on one leg, the landscape of the 205-pound class has been completely rewritten. Let's break down the madness. Starting with the early prelims, we saw Vicent Luque snap a year-long drought with a gritty submission win. But let's be honest, Luque is showing his age. The mileage is piling up, and he needs to be careful with his matchmaking. Kelvin Gastelum, on the other hand, is at a career crossroads. The weight cuts are clearly taking a toll. He's a shell of the middleweight gatekeeper we once knew, and a final farewell fight against a technical wrestler might be the only logical path left. Moving to the prelims, Tatiana Suarez continues to look like an absolute force of nature. She isn't just winning, she's dominating. With that grappling plus striking blend, she's earned her spot as the clear #1 contender. The featherweight division also gave us a harsh reality check. Patricio Pitbull, despite his legendary Bellator pedigree, is 1-2 in the UFC, and at 38, it's hard not to wonder if the curtain call should come sooner rather than later. Aaron Pico is in a different boat. He's young enough to evolve, but the featherweight shark tank is unforgiving. He needs a statement win against a top 15 contender to prove he's more than just hype. The main card delivered some emotional moments, headlined by the legendary Cub Swanson hanging up his gloves for good. A true warrior bowing out. Meanwhile, the light heavyweight division got a massive shakeup. Dominic Reyes is back in the mix after a solid showing against Johnny Walker, and honestly, a fight against someone like Khalil Rountree could catapult him right back into the title picture. On the flip side, Josh Hokit's rise is fascinating but risky. Taking a fight against Derek Lewis is a massive spectacle, but it's a high-stakes gamble that could derail his momentum if he's not careful. Then we have the main event madness. Paulo Costa looks like a new animal at 205, dismantling Azamat Murzakanov and immediately putting himself in the title conversation. But the night belonged to the new champ, Carlos Ulberg. Pulling off a KO victory while nursing a popped knee? That's the stuff of legends. Unfortunately, that injury likely shelves him for the year, meaning an interim title fight is almost certainly on the horizon. As for Jiri Prochazka, his samurai willingness to trade blows is exactly what keeps him exciting, but it's also his undoing against the division's heavy hitters. So, who is the real king of the 205s moving forward, and can anyone stop the momentum of guys like Costa? Sound off in the comments. Do you think Ulberg can maintain his reign once he's healthy, or is the interim belt already calling someone else's name? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for all your post-fight breakdowns, and remember, in the UFC, one night can turn a prospect into a legend or a veteran into a memory.